What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Commander Deck Tech. This week we are doing another higher power level deck, I guess. I wouldn't consider this one CEDH, at least not this build. Generally, Urza, Lord High Artificer, is considered a CEDH deck. I don't consider this exact build CEDH. Because, I don't have any of the crazy mana stuff. I don't have Mana Vault. I don't have Grim Monolith. For right now, this is my initial version of the deck. So like always, I do have it built in paper because I never make a deck list or deck tech video of a deck that I haven't physically built and played, I should say, because I played this on Spell Table, I played it in my regular play group, and I played it in my LGS. So Urza, Lord High Artificer. Let's jump into this deck, guys. Like always, deck list will be down in the description box for you guys to go check out because somebody's going to want to build this deck. So Urza, Lord High Artificer. It's a 4 mana human artificer. When he enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. With this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. You can tap an untapped artifact you control to add a blue mana, and then you pay 5 to shuffle your library and exile the top card of your library until the end of turn. You may play that card without paying its mana cost. Now, this can get out of hand really quickly. Before we jump into this, I do not have Isochron Scepter in this deck. I am currently trying to track one down. But the deck does still function. The deck does still win games. But it is a little less efficient than it could be. So let's jump into this deck, guys. Kicking it off with the artifacts. There's 26 of them. And then I'll explain some of the creature choices when we get to that point. But we got your Arcane Signet, Basalt Monolith, Elixir of Immortality, Everflowing Chalice, Expedition Map, Fellwar Stone, Forsaken Monument. This with the Basalt Monolith gives you infinite colorless and infinite blue mana. And it's a little more roundabout to get the infinite blue mana because you'd have to make a whole crap ton of colorless mana, and then you'd untap the Basalt Monolith for 3 with the colorless mana, and then tap it with Urza to make a blue, and then use the 3 to untap it, to tap it to make a blue, and then use the colors. You understand. Lightning Greaves, Liquid Metal Torque, Lotus Petal, Mirage Mirror, in case we gotta make a copy of some stuff, Mystic Forge, Skull Clamp, Soul Ring, Soul Talisman, Spellbook, Staff of Domination, Stone of Erect, Thought Vessel, Tormod's Crypt, Unwinding Clock, Urza's Incubator, Winter Orb. Winter Orb's great. When it's untapped, players can't untap more than one land during their untap step. So you're generally going to leave Winter Orb untapped until the player before you, and you're going to tap it on their end step. This way, all your lands will untap. Witching Well, Warm Power Stone, and Zuran Orb. So we're running a handful of 0-drop artifacts. A lot of our artifacts are 1-drops or 2-drops. And then obviously you have a few 3-drops. I think it's 1 4-drop and a 5-drop in the basic, just like artifacts, straight artifacts. Not the creature artifacts, just the straight artifacts. I am running a couple of the Eldrazi Titans in this deck. Now, standard Urza Lord High Artificer, like CEDH one, as far as I'm aware, doesn't run the Eldrazi Titans. I have a thing for Eldrazi Titans. I really enjoy Eldrazi Titans. So, just to keep it more fun for me, I am running a couple of the Eldrazi, the bigger Eldrazi. So, we got It That Betrays with an IR2. When an opponent sacrifices a Non-token permanent, put that card on the battlefield under your control. Junk Diver, Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. Laboratory Maniac, if you draw a card and you have no cards in your library, you win the game. One of the ways that we win with this deck, one of many. Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter, just to give our artifacts and colorless spells flash. Mirror Battle Spear. This is another one that you don't usually see in Urza decks, at least not the ones I've seen in the past. Mirror Retriever, Ornithopter. I almost said Ornithopter Paradise. Regular Ornithopter, 0-drop 1. Riddlesmith, if you cast an artifact spell, draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Psymaster Thopterist, it makes Thopters. So it's practically free mana because you'll have Psy on the board. You play, let's say, Spellbook for 0. You make a Thopter. That Thopter then can tap for mana because of Urza. And then you play something else, and then now you make another Thopter, and now you're benefiting mana each time. Scrap Trawler, Steel Hellkite, Steel Overseer, Surginger, the Meal Ender, because we're playing a lot of artifacts, so Surginger gets pretty big pretty fast. Trophy Mage, you search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 3. So generally, you're searching for either Staff of Domination or Basalt Monolith. You can search for Mirage Mirror as well, but generally you're going for either Staff of Domination or the Basalt Monolith, depending what you have already in your hand, or if you might have something exiled with Urza already, like let's say you have the Staff of Domination exiled with Urza, you didn't cast it yet, you cast Trophy Mage to look for the Basalt Monolith. Now, a lot of this is assuming that you already have Forsaken Monument, or once I update the deck, I'll be doing an updated version in a month or two once I get it all refined. Generally, you'd have like Isochron Scepter and Dramatic Reversal or something to really get your mana going, to get infinite mana. But yeah. So then we got Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, another one of the big Eldrazi's. Now, like I said, they're not usually in the deck, but gotta love them. Vidalcan Archmage, the better Riddlesmith, because you don't have to discard. So whenever you cast an artifact spell, you draw a card. Walking Atlas, because we're playing mono blue, we want to play some extra lands. Wormcoil Engine, 2 enchantments in the deck, Eldrazi Conscription and Leyline of Anticipation. So Leyline of Anticipation really helps this deck out. You're just going to give everything in your deck flash. So that's just the better way to do it. Instants in the deck, we got Anticipate, Brainstorm, Cancel, Counterspell, Cyclonic Rift, Dramatic Reversal, Evacuation, Mystical Tutor, Opt, Pongify, Rewind, and Tolarian Winds. Now, this one is questionable because it's kind of like a last-ditch effort. Sometimes, like if you need to hit your combo piece, you don't have Tolarian Winds, or this with your Laboratory Maniac, like after your library is empty, you get Laboratory Maniac on the board, you Tolarian Winds, and then you go to draw and you win the game. A couple of different things. Obviously, we're running a few counter spells because we don't want our stuff to get stopped. We got Cyclonic Rift to really wipe the board. Evacuations in case someone's coming at us like crazy. If they got a really big board, you just want to return all creatures to their owner's hands. So, Planeswalkers in the deck. We got Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Another way to win the game without any cards in your library. So if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. And then you can +1 him, or if you get him to -8, you draw 7 cards, and if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. So this one, the -8 is a little more specific. I don't know if you need to draw specifically 7 cards in that instance, or because of his other ability, you just win the game. Like, let's say you have 3 cards, you -8 him. Pretty sure that you would still win the game. Narset, part of Veils. This is in here because of things like Windfall. I plan on getting other wheel effects in here. So for right now, Narset's just a way to kind of slow our opponents down, because there are a lot of decks out there that draw extra cards. Teferi, Master of Time, a way for us to take 2 extra turns. Generally, in the times I've gotten to this -10, which hasn't been often, it's probably been 3 or 4 times. Usually people just scoop at that point. It wasn't in this deck specifically, it was in one of my other decks. But generally, the way this deck functions, you're not getting to this -10. Usually you've won the game by that point. Or if you haven't won the game, there's a good chance you're not winning that game. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, kind of a self-explanatory planeswalker in this deck. Really good card. Obviously, most of our deck is colorless because we're running a lot of artifacts. We do have some blue permanents that can be affected by this, but generally Ugin is going to be one of those like saving grace cards. Like, you're just kind of in a pinch and you need to wipe the board. If we lose our Vidalcan Archmage or our Riddlesmith, we're fine. If we lose Sai, Master Thopterist, or if we lose Trophy Mage, we're good. In the Ugin Blast. For sorceries in the deck, we're doing Preordain, Serum Visions, and Windfall. So I am running the 4 1-drop draw spells. Brainstorm, Opt, Preordain, and Serum Visions. Just to make sure we're hitting some low drops. Mystical Tutor, obviously. Search for an instant or sorcery, so you're going to search for what you need. But, guys, let me know down below what you guys think about this deck. I know I don't usually do these type of commanders. I don't generally like to play these types of commanders because these are the kinds of commanders you sit at the table with and they automatically target you. Usually I like to play a little bit more obscure commanders, we'll call them. I've done some powerful decks in the past, like Gishath, Edgar, Atraxa Grand Unifier. But like I said, generally I try to stray away from these types of decks. I like to have more oddball experience. Play a commander that people are like, wait, what does that do? Like, you play Urza 9 times out of 10, you're going to be like, yeah, that's the threat. We're killing him first. But leave a comment down below. Let me know what cards you might suggest for this deck. Because like I said, this isn't a fully optimized build of this. This isn't CEDH yet. I have a couple cards in mind that I want to get for it. It might become CEDH. If you want to see it become CEDH, give the video a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. Let me know. Got a couple more great deck techs coming out. I know I don't pump them out as fast as some of these other channels do that are doing one every week or so. Or some are doing one every day. But like, I don't like uploading deck lists until I get to build a deck, play the deck a while. Like, I like to get some games behind it before I upload it. I can't speak on the other channels. I don't know. Maybe they play test them too. Maybe they just have a lot of decks. Like, I know some people that have 25, 30 decks and they just had them for so long. You never know. But enough rambling on. I will see you guys in the next video. All the links down below, the deck list, and all is down there for you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video.